All right, part four. Yeah, so just kind of going through a little bit more outline of the research that I'm posting. This is a pretty short list, but we're definitely going to be adding some more stuff, things that I find interesting, but hopefully you guys find them helpful as well. This one I found really interesting. It's from 1992, so very old study. But it is looking at some of the recovery parameters after a pitching outing. So they're looking at 2 days after and 4 days after, basically finding like this is an extremely taxing activity on the human body. So pitchers are dealing with a lot of fatigue after an outing, and we need to account for that. We need to respect the nature of the game, and to try and reduce as much of that fatigue as we can, and to allow proper recovery, because in my opinion, that's just something that is not done well in professional and college and even at the youth level. We're burning out these pitchers' arms. They may not really notice that they're tired, but we can see through video, we can see from testing, the body fatigues a lot from just one outing of pitching. Pitch counts I don't really think mean a whole lot, but we have to understand what fatigue looks like, how to manage it, how to prepare physically so we can handle more fatigue, if that makes sense. Another really interesting one is looking at rib fracture. So a very common injury, especially with higher level pitchers that are throwing with higher velocity. That rib cage is just getting deformed and changing shape on the left and the right side during the throw. So one of the other reasons why we're talking about breathing, we're talking about the rib cage and pelvis, is because in order to get an efficient arm path and to throw efficiently, we need that rib cage and pelvis to dynamically change shapes throughout the delivery. So a lot of our training is trying to emphasize that. It's trying to restore proper breathing, proper movement of the rib cage individually, and we found that is really helpful in preventing some of these arm injuries, and also getting pitchers to perform at a higher level, getting more strikes, because now getting to a release point is much more efficient. Not as many moving parts. They're not working as hard. So the fatigue, again, it won't become an issue quite as soon. Another study here, kind of talking about conditioning pitchers. So if you've worked with me, you'll know I'm not a fan of running. I think that there's a lot of evidence showing that running is going to make pitchers stiff. They're going to lose hip mobility. It's going to cause a lot of knee pain, shin splints, all kinds of low back it might be, but just basically kind of giving my perspective on why we need to do a better job conditioning pitchers, preparing them physically for their sport, rather than just beating them up in practice and training, and not giving them a chance to be close to 100% during the game. That's partially my bias, I guess. Other than that, I mean, not a whole lot to go over. We're going to talk a little bit about knowledge bombs that might become an area where we add a lot more just kind of random facts or interesting topics to discuss. Other than that, yeah, we just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a tour and talk about what to expect. I just wanted to, again, say welcome, and to thank you all for being along for the journey. We'll get this thing more dialed in as we continue to grow, and just getting more feedback from you guys. The more feedback we get, the more questions you guys ask, that will give us more direction in terms of like where to take this thing, and which areas to emphasize the most. But yeah, again, we're really excited, and we're looking forward to working with you all. Thanks again.